I welcome you to this tutorial. For this tutorial, we will learn about SQL and its application to data analytics. The full meaning of SQL now, structured query language. Today, data are the basis of any business. The world of multinational businesses and enterprise computing now the epitome of data-driven business. So because of this, it is important to ensure structured storage of data and how we go align with our businesses. And not be only storage dey important, but also how we go retrieve the data wey we don store. As a beginner, you feel lost because information plenty for our world, information too boku. But this tutorial go make you understand how important SQL is and how we fit answer certain questions pertaining to information data in our world. Data analytics, data management or database administration no go dey complete without SQL. Na why you guys understand the basics of SQL, and this go help you a lot for your career. Before we continue, I wan make you quickly understand say SQL na special purpose programming language. Special purpose as in say e dey different from general purpose programming language such as C++, C, Java, JavaScript, Python and so on. Na im be say e get a particular function or purpose, and this special purpose na the manipulation of data sets. So wetin be SQL? SQL na language wey dem dey use interact with relational database management system or RDBMS. You fit dey look relational database management system as big word, so make we just break am into bits. Make we take am one by one. Make we first take database. Wetin be database? Database na organized collection of data wey we don store inside a computer system. But make we take school for example. Normal, school go have collection of data such as the personal record of students, the students' performance history, teachers' data, and school fees data, or maybe financial department data, and so on. So now wetin database be that? Na just organized collection of data wey we don store for inside computer. Now to manage this database, this organized collection of data, we need something wey we dey call database management system or DBMS. And wetin be that one? Database management system na software application wey dey control database. E dey work for managing different databases. E dey help us to create and manage database. With the help of database management system, we fit handle tasks such as data security, data backup. E fit help us manage huge amount of data. E dey serve multiple concurrent database requests, and e fit give us a way to manage data using programming languages. So now we don know wetin database be and database management system, make we now look at the types of databases wey we have. So there are two types of databases, and those databases na the relational database and the non-relational database. So make we take am one by one. For non-relational database, the data no dey organized in form of tables. The data dey stored in form of key and value pairs. And examples of non-relational database na JSON and XML. And we no fit use SQL interact with non-relational database, but we fit use SQL interact with relational database. So for relational database, the data dey organized in form of tables so that it go dey easy to retrieve, manage and update. These tables contain rows and columns of data, and the tables get unique key to identify each row of the table. We dey use SQL interact with relational database as we don talk, and many times people like to dey refer to relational database as SQL database. So wetin come be SQL? Well, We don't talk am before say SQL stands for structured query language, and na im be the standardized language for interacting with relational database management systems. Some examples of the popular relational database are MySQL, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL Server, MongoDB, Oracle Database, Apache Cassandra, and MariaDB. So some other things wey SQL fit do. We dey use SQL to perform CRUD. The full meaning of that one na to create, to retrieve, to update, and delete. So if you do this creation, retrieving, updating, and deleting operations for inside relational database. Also, we fit use SQL to perform administrative tasks on database, such as database security, backup, user management, and so on. And then with SQL, we fit create database and tables inside database. Alright, so make we look at the types of SQL. Don't forget say SQL na language, structured query language. So make we look at these languages. We don see wetin we fit do with database using SQL. SQL na basically combination of 4 different languages. We have the DQL, or the data query language. We dey use data query language to fetch information from database. That is, the information wey don dey already stored in the database. We dey use am to select data from a table, and we fit even use am view that table. The only command of data query language na the select command. Another language na the DDL, or the data definition language. We dey use this data definition language to define table schemas. Na im be say we dey use am to create and alter database and database objects in the relational database management system. The data definition language commands wey dey common pass na create table, drop table, alter table, and truncate table. Another language na the data control language. We dey use the data control language for user and permission management. E dey help control access to the database. We dey use am to provide and take back access rights to the database and the database objects. And we fit use am to control access to our data. The most common data control language commands wey dey na grant and revoke. Another language na DML, or data manipulation language. Data manipulation language, we dey use am for inserting, updating, and deleting data from the database. Basically, we dey use am to manipulate data in the relational database management system. The data manipulation language commands wey common pass na insert into, delete from, and update. Another language wey we go mention, people no too dey mention am, na the TCL, and that one stand for transaction control language. We dey use transaction control command language for handling transactions in the database. These transactions dey ensure data integrity in the multi-user environment. Transaction control language commands dey fit roll back and commit data modification in the database. The transaction control language commands wey dem dey use pass na commit, rollback, save point, and set transaction. So make we look at the features of SQL. So the first feature na say SQL fit let you access any data within the relational database. And how we fit do this be say e dey help you to access any data by writing queries. Queries na just set of instructions wey we dey give to the database management system. E dey tell the relational database management system what information you go like get from the database. No worry too much about queries now, na just introduction with this. We go still learn for this tutorial how we fit write queries well. So SQL fit let you write queries to access your data. SQL dey very fast in retrieving large amount of data efficiently. SQL dey versatile as e dey work with database system from Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, and so on. SQL fit help you manage database without even knowing how to code too much. SQL dey use operators wey dey common to many applications, and some of these operators include the arithmetic operations, logical operations, and comparisons. Make we look at the uses of SQL. SQL fit help you protect your database from unauthorized access. E fit help you create database. E fit help you structure the database, and e fit perform many other functions. SQL fit help you to maintain an already existing database. Na very powerful language for entering data, modifying data, and extracting data for inside database. We fit use SQL as client server language, so e go connect the front end and back end. Make we look at the SQL command structure. SQL dey follow a particular structure. So to get your data, to query your data, to get your data from the database, you go need follow this structure. So make we look an example. So na example be this. You wan select a particular column. If it be column 1, column 2, or maybe any other column. And from, you go enter your table name, where then you fit give your condition. If it be one condition, if it be two condition. If you also group by column, if it be maybe any column where you want group by, then having maybe if you add another condition, and you fit order by any column where you want. So now an example of the structure where SQL dey follow be this. Now the example of the command structure where it dey follow be this. So now make we look at the data types in SQL. The kind data types wey we get for SQL na exact numeric, approximate numeric, date and time, the string data type, and the binary data type. So we go learn more about these data types as we continue for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next session.